So we're off this morning. We're leaving Leòn. It's about 6:15.
Yep.
And we're trying to get a good start this morning to try to beat the heat since we've got a long day. We kind of have almost like a little bit of a stage and a half, I guess somebody said yesterday.
Yeah.
So, but it'll give us a nice short day tomorrow. So anyway, we're off early, and I'm sure that'll thrill everyone. And yeah, we'll head down the road. This is a hotel now, but what did it used to be?
It used to be the.
Here, let me switch sides so like if this microphone's on that
I
side.
think what they said, it was like the where the knights stayed, like the quarters. And I can't remember if it was the Knights of Leòn or if it was the Knights of Malta. I'm not 100% sure. I do know that knights stayed there though.
Was it like
and
their?
then it was a prison at one time also.
It was like their housing or whatever.
Yeah.
And now it's a hotel.
Yep. Fancy too.
Why didn't we stay there?
Huh?
Why didn't we stay there?
Because we're a pilgrim, we're not
Oh, a tourist.
fancy tourist.
Okay, I got you. So coming out of Leòn at about a little before 5 miles, you come to a Y where you can go straight on the Camino or you can turn left on the Camino. So we had decided last night that we wanted to do the left. It's just a teeny tiny bit longer, but it's away from the road. So everybody that goes straight is gonna go right by the road for, I guess, the majority of the day. Everybody that goes straight will go by the road pretty much all day.
Yeah.
So even though this one's just a tad longer, it's quiet. So I'm glad we were going this way. I'll tell you at the end of the day, but I definitely would pick a little bit longer because it's not much longer versus having to go by that road all day, that noisy road. So this should definitely be a lot quieter. May not be as much stuff out this way, but I know there's at least one restaurant at some point, so that's where we're headed. So it's about 8:45. We have been on the road for a couple hours. We've went about 6.5 miles so far. It's nice and quiet out here. There's not a lot of traffic. There's not a lot of people. We are on the road right now, but I think everybody that took the other way, they're on the road, and then they are also by the big highway. So this is definitely the quieter of the two, but it's definitely going to be a hot day as well. It's early and it's already warm. I think honestly the next week it's showing, like for this whole entire week, a really hot week in the 90s, and then maybe looking like next week cooling down a hair, like in the 80s, the lower 80s. So that would be wonderful if that happens. But I think Brian's doing good. He's behind me just a little bit, but so far he's feeling good. I'm thankful to be on my legs, thankful to be off the bike. The bike just made me nervous, especially like on the highway. It's like, you know, I know they're more used to bikes and stuff, and they are more aware because there are a lot of bicyclists, but I don't know. They also start drinking at 8 a.m. So, I mean, that kind of almost cancels out like that they're good drivers around bikers. So I'm very thankful to be back on my feet, using my legs to get where I need to go today, and not having to pedal. So yeah, so far so good. So the other day when I was talking about the white stuff that flies through the air, this is like a mega jackpot of it. It's crazy. I still don't know what it is, unless it's just pollen. It's not pollen, but I guess it's that all the flowering stuff, but it's everywhere right now. It makes me think of like all my people back home that have terrible allergies. Oh my gosh, this would be like probably a nightmare. And my allergies have been bothering me just since we were on the bikes. I think I just inhaled a lot of this stuff, and holy cow, it looks like snow. And I actually even had a nosebleed the other night. So after going through all this stuff, some kind of weed. But anyway, we're coming into a little town. There was a bar up, I don't know, a little while back. They were closed. They weren't open yet. So hopefully we'll find something in this town, maybe to grab a bite to eat. I'm really not hungry, but I don't know how pretty is that? How spaced out things are going to be. With this being an alternate, the Camino does a few different little alternate routes where you could just kind of pick and choose which one you want to do. They're still well marked. But you do have to pay attention a little bit on either whether you're using maps or, like for us, all trails, well not all trails, but far out, to kind of help you decipher what you want to do. Gives you a little bit more info on the options that you have. And like I said earlier, this route is just a little bit longer, but it was more scenic, so that's why we took it. It's just nice from being in the city for a day and a half to get some peace and quiet, and it's definitely a lot quieter out here. I'm gonna guess there's no food in this town, but we'll see. I think I'm gonna stop here and wait for Brian, give him a chance to get caught up with me. It looks like there's a gravel road right up there, probably taking us out of the city. I'm gonna get in the shade here and hang tight for him. We stopped at a little town and had lunch. I don't know the name of the place. We were about 11.5 miles in. We have probably another 10 to 11 miles to go. So that was a good stopping point, kind of the halfway point for us. So I think our plan is to go 5 or 6 more miles and take a little break, just sit down wherever we are. Hopefully there'll be some place to sit and take just a few minute rest, 10 minutes, whatever, take our shoes off if we need to, or tend to anything like that, and then we'll have another 5 or 6 after that. So I think that's the plan, just to knock out this next 5 or 6 miles, take a little break, then finish it out. Brian's feeling good. His Achilles tendon is feeling good, so I think this is a nice flat section through here. We were talking to some people at the restaurant about that some people consider this section leaving Leòn still the meseta and some don't, that there's like conflicting, you know, some do and some don't and whatever. But we all agreed today, everybody that was at the restaurant, it definitely feels like the meseta. So I'm glad. I'm going to consider it, for me, I'm going to consider it still part of the meseta, because it sure looks like it. But that makes me feel good, because now I can think I did walk this section of the meseta, and anyway, something I wanted to do. So we're gonna go on down the road and try to get these miles behind us. It's hot, but everybody feels good, and we're just gonna do the best we can. Most people doing this stretch today, I would say 90% or more, get off here at this, we call it Albergue Jesus. I know that's Jesus. We just call it Jesus. And most people are getting off here for the day. We've got, I think, about 6 or 7 miles past this Albergue. But there's a bar that way. And I've said before, the bars, we're not hitting bars like at 8 a.m. drinking. These bars are like a cafe, but they just call them bars. There's the odd thing that looks like a spaceship landing. So yeah. There's a bench in the shade.
Yeah, like the smart persons we are.
We only have 8 more miles. Woo!
We'll be positive.
Woohoo! Woohoo! We are 15.5 miles in for the day. We still got a pretty good haul left in front of us, but we're making pretty good time. And basically, this is all you see. Definitely the last few towns have been pretty much, you can tell, centered around like agriculture. That's kind of what they do through here. And it looks like we got maybe corn. And, I can't tell, it's too small. But yeah, it's hot. It's about 85. And it's just a long old road. I've been listening to music this whole time. Today is a day that without music, there's no way I could do this today without music. Brian doesn't listen to a lot of music. but I think he's just miserable. So to me, I'm like, why not listen to music? I mean, I get it whenever it's a beautiful day and whew, goodness gracious. Make sure I don't run over nobody back there. But when it's for me personally, like when it's a pretty day, or I'm in the woods and I can hear the animals and the birds and all the little things. But on days like today, for me personally, yeah, there's something there. I just have to put my head down and kind of get lost in something. Or if not, it makes the day really, really, really long for me. But everybody's not like that. So I don't know if he's back there listening to music or not. I'm gonna guess no. I'll ask him whenever we get back together up here. I don't really know. I think there's another couple miles before we have any sort of kind of like place you can sit down or take a rest. And I don't even know if you can, if there's that, but there is like shows a bridge up here. So in a couple of miles. But anyway, yeah. Basically today, this is farmland. It's kind of what we're looking at. I'm close to 18 miles in, and the road finally come to an intersection, and now I'm on dirt over this little canal thing. There's not been really much shade at all. I was going to wait for Brian at the intersection, but it was just totally exposed, so I walked across the intersection and down over the first little canal and come to a shady spot. So I'm gonna sit down here, try to get a hold of him, and I don't know if he made a pit stop or not at the last little, there was some benches maybe a mile or so back, so I'm just gonna hang tight and wait on him here in the shade. It'd be nice if they had a bench here. 20 miles in and crossing this train track right on far out. It says it is an active train track. Ooh. So be careful. Nothing was coming, so not an issue for me today. So I think I'm still on this dirt road, very straight. I think I'm a couple of miles away. 3, I'm gonna say at the max. I'm at a little over 20. My feet have done really good today. I think having the 3 days of bike, which my feet had been getting like gradually where it took them longer and longer to hurt. Like, you know, we're used to maybe they would hurt at like 12 miles. And then it was kind of like, well, they don't really hurt till 15. Anyway, today they've not really hurt at all. So I think taking those 3 days off, as far as like off my feet and bicycling, and then we had the rest day in Leòn, I think has definitely been helpful to my feet. So I think that's a good thing. And like my feet feel great. It's still really hot. Of course, the later the day gets, the hotter it is. But I'm about to wrap it up, so I'll be glad to get to our albergue and have some food and all those good things. Get some chores done, and Ron's still behind me just a little bit. We stopped and took that break for a while, and then just decided to just keep on, not to break for too long, just keep on going, because it's just, honestly, this little section's just really hot, and all you can think about is kind of getting like some good cold water and taking a break. So I'd rather just push on and get there as quick as I can. So that's what we're doing, and I will get back with you hopefully when I need it. Finally made it to town, and I'm at 22.25. I'm not quite to the hostel yet, but it's been another hot day. A scorcher for sure. So anyway, I'm going to, get into a bar and sit down and grab something to eat and cool off. We stopped at the little bar and grabbed something to drink, and they were cash only, and we were out of cash. We've carried cash most of the time, but we just kind of run out. And so a nice guy, an older gentleman, I think just felt sorry for us and bought us some food. So we are getting ready to cross the beautiful bridge. I read how many arches there are, but I don't remember. A bunch.
This is the bridge where all the knights would joust.
Okay.
I think they still have exhibitions to this day. Keep here.
This looks like a pretty town.
That was Quinta de Orbigo. And when we crossed the bridge, it's Hospital de Orbigo.
Yeah, it looks like hospital. Which is where we're staying somewhere.
We're staying like this right at Hospital de Orbigo.
We are on the last little stretch into our town. Definitely the mileage, it's 90 degrees, it's hot. The mileage from the hospital town to here seemed a lot less when I looked at it than what it feels like on this road right now. But the town is in sight. So we're almost here. I'm at 24, a little over 24 miles. Should be, I'm gonna guess 25 probably by the time we get to our albergue. I do not plan on doing another 25-mile day in this heat. I'm gonna say my limit's gonna be about 20 max. 25 miles is like 40K, and it's just too hot. The sun's too hot, and Doesn't matter. We left it dark. I mean, we could technically put our headlamps on and leave. I'm just not going to do another 25-mile day, period. I don't care what time I can leave or should leave. I'm not going to do another 25-mile day right now with the heat. If it would cool off a little bit, and it might later in the week, then maybe. But as of today, I'm saying, yeah, this is my last 25-mile day, which we don't have many, if anything, left really big miles. I know there's some 20-mile days, but it's like those 21-mile days somehow turn into 23, 24. I just don't really want to go much over 20 with the heat right now. Like I said, if it cools off, that's another story. So anyway, we're here just about. I'm very thankful. Ready to get off this dirt road and to get a shower, eat, and then luckily a short day tomorrow. So that's definitely something I'm looking forward to. Leon's back there. We're just kind of like at this point, head down, get it done. But we're almost here. Yay! This must be it. Finally! Oh, hallelujah. Yay. Sweet.
Oh,
Hey, 40K.
40K?
40K.
Definitely.
Are you a good girl? Good boy. Ah, look at your cute little tail. Look at your cute little tail. I bet you're a boy. I bet you. He's Nico. Nico wanted to come inside, and I wanted Nico to come in and lay on the bed and cuddle with me. Oh my goodness. She said don't open the windows. I'm like, don't worry. Alright, my face looks red. Is it my shirt?
Mm-hmm.
It's the light. I think it's a combination.
Yeah.
My hands are shaking. My face is a little bit red. But this shirt makes it worse. Okay, so we're here. It's a nice birthday. We had a good dinner with everybody, like a communal dinner. Happy to be here. Still got tan lines. Any of them. Okay, so here's my interesting takeaway from the day, and you'll be able to tell exactly what she said. So whenever we come in, and she found out we come from Leòn, she's like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. Just a really long way. And she just was talking about how terribly hot it is right now, and that this is not the normal heat for this time of year. Wake up. What did she say about that? Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, I'm about to walk this long ways from Leòn.
No, that's not what I said. You fell asleep. You dozed off. I don't know how you're sleeping in here because it's inferno.
It is hot, but I mean...
No, what I said was, she said when we got here that this is not the typical heat.
This is not the temperature.
She said it's...
typical temperature. It's hot. Hotter than normal.
But what did she say about the heat?
It's hot.
No, she said normally she doesn't turn the heat off.
She doesn't turn the heat off until
June.
The middle of June.
Yeah, so normally she's got heat running still. And she's like, I had to turn that off a long time ago. She's like, this is very unseasonably hot. She says it gets this hot, but this is way earlier than normal. So she said normally it's not this hot this time of year. So there's that. Anyway, so I think that all we have is like Z's. You're just going to be sleeping. Sleeping. Hey, there's my tan line. Look at my wrist. How's that for a tan line for you? Yeah, terrible. I'm gonna be looking good when I go to the beach with all these crazy tan lines. So anyway, are you laughing? My face looks so red.
No. Laughing.
Oh, all right. Well, we're going to bed. Short day tomorrow. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. Sweet baby Jesus. Short day.
Yep.
10 miles. Hopefully it won't be 12. All right. Do you have any final good night words?
Nope.
Now you're going to be looking at the back of your eyelids?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good.